Goodyear, the official tire of NASCAR. Everything we've learned making tires from one of racing's most grueling proving grounds inspires what we roll into ours. Goodyear, more driven, as NASCAR on Fox welcomes you back to Daytona International Speedway. We're at the break after 25. We have 50 laps to go in the Budweiser Shootout, and Jeff Burton, with help from his teammate. We talked about two-car tango. His dancing partner, Kevin Harvick, pushing him out to the lead. They've led the most laps. Jeff Burton has at 13. He's standing by with our Chris Devoto.
Thanks, Chris. RCR teammates definitely leading this Daytona dance right now, leaning in the car with Jeff Burton. So obviously you and Kevin Harvick are doing things right. What do you need to do differently, or do you just need to do the more of the same thing in this next segment?
Well, I think we learned an awful lot. I mean, we're not used to racing like this. It's a whole other environment. So that was we learned more in 25 laps than we did in 4 days of testing. So, obviously we can do a few things better, but we got to keep communicating and looking at all the little stuff, because you make one little mistake, it's a big time difference.
Thanks, Jeff. Steve?
Krista with Denny Hamlin. Denny, we heard you at when the caution came out. You said every time I got a run, somebody got on my right rear. What exactly are you learning in those first 25 laps?
Well, you're just trying to figure out how long you could push. For us, it seemed like it was pretty decent amount of time, but it's just so tough to, once you do get up front, even if you got a two-car draft going, the wake is so big that allows the other two-car packs to catch up immediately. So it's kind of a yo-yo effect, and really it's tough to stay up front. So it's pretty good. What's tricky is when you get a big run going and you got two-car packs that are side by side, someone's got to go somewhere, so that's where it gets kind of dicey.
All right, good luck, Denny. Back to the hotel.
All right, yeah, thanks, Steve. It's funny, you didn't see anybody out by themselves, at least near the front. It was all these two-car tangos that we talked about. You were listening in on the radio communication between Jeff Burton and Kevin Harvick.
And the thing is so interesting. We saw this during testing down in January, Chris, and you had to get hooked up. Your teammate was so important if you could work with him. And right now we're seeing the 31 and 29 pull this thing off. Picture perfect. But what I did pick up on is the lead car has to treat the rear car as one. I mean, they've got to be able to work together, and that's where the spotters have really come into play here tonight. They're working extra hard to be able to find these guys a hole, keep them out of trouble. You see them up there way above the Daytona International Speedway. They've got to be on their toes, because all this stuff is happening at a faster rate than even they've been expected to, and what their training has been working with all these years. I mean, these are speeds. I mean, they are really fast.
We've hit over 200. Carl Edwards, currently 7th. He's standing by with our Dick Bergman. Dick?
Well, Carl, we've never seen a race quite like this. How do you win this thing?
You know how I was having all that trouble with my helmet? I haven't thought about that once. This is crazy, man. I don't know how you're going to win it, but I'll tell you what, I have to have more trust than I've ever had in the guys that I'm around. When I was pushing Matt, I couldn't see through his car, and so he had to have a huge amount of trust for me not to push him into something bad. And when he's pushing me, it's the same thing. You get up to a group and you think, oh boy, this could be insane. But everybody's doing a really good job, and it's just it's white knuckle. I mean, I feel like I've been riding a dirt bike or something. My hands are are worn out from holding the wheel.
200 miles an hour and you can't see where you're going. Wow, what a race.
Jimmy Johnson, 5-time the Dominator, getting some work here, currently 5th with 50 laps to go. We've had 12 lead changes, hit our fastest lap over 206 miles an hour. The Budweiser Shootout on Fox is sponsored by Goodyear, the official tire of NASCAR. Goodyear, more driven. By Warner Brothers Pictures, Unknown. In theaters February 18th, and by the Chevy Silverado HD Motor Trends 2011 Truck of the Year. Next Saturday night, 9 p.m. on Speed, the Budweiser roast of Kevin Harvick. Join Tony Stewart, Elliott Sadler, comedians Earthquake, Jeremy Hotz, and John Reap, and others as they roast the former Daytona 500 winner. With Jeff Hammond, Chris Myers of the Hollywood Hotel, and getting ready after, 25 laps in less than 20 minutes. You talk about fast.
It's fast, and it's kind of like that movie Unknown. It's unknown what's going to happen in his next 50 laps, because what I picked up on, Chris, right now, your dancing partner, your spotter is going to be so important, and staying up front is going to be the must you have to do, because you get shuffled to the back anywhere past maybe about 10 laps to go. I don't think you can get your way back up there quick enough.
All right, let's rejoin Darrell, Larry, and Mike. And what if you're one of those guys? We heard the drivers talk. You're in a twosome, and then somebody else wants to try to join in. Then what do you do?
Drive around them. To answer Jeff's question, the problem with trying to stay up front is we have seen that a group following is faster than the group up front. The record for lead changes, Darrell, in this race is 23 in 2009. We've already have half that many in half as many laps as we have left to run. I don't see how we can't break that record tonight.
I don't either. And these fast speeds are really, I can't get over how comfortable the guys look. I know I'm listening to them. They're saying, this is ridiculous, but it's fun. Yeah. This is crazy, but it's fun. I mean, they're really having a good time out there, but they do have their hands full. This is difficult racing. Got to anticipate your every move.
Well, the strategy is dance with the first girl you can get your hands on to line up with you, or first car, that is. What strategy for 50 laps now?
Well, yeah, you may want to find someone else that you think that can make you run faster, but I think you're a little bit afraid to get off the car you're with. I love what Denny Hamlin said, and I think he's in the same boat as 12.5 cars. I know I can win this thing. I just got to figure out where to put myself on that last lap.
You've got to keep up the intensity. 25, we got 50, but you got to keep up the intensity.
Oh, intensity. The vice is going to tighten. 50 laps to go in the Budweiser Shootout of 2011, live on Fox. Laps down, 50 to go in the Budweiser Shootout of 2011. Digger on duty, because here they come. Here's your Budweiser race summary. Jeff Burton led 13 laps, and he led at the end of the first segment, one of 5 leaders, 12 lead changes, average speed. Look at that average speed, 196.5 miles an hour. Saw a tweet from Lance Armstrong about an hour ago. He was just settling in to watch the Bud Shootout. Glad to have him and you with us tonight on Fox. Pace car ready to pull to the left, and we'll turn them loose for 50 laps. Jeff Burton, Kevin Harvick up front. Dale Earnhardt Jr., Matt Kenseth, Jimmy Johnson the top 5. Logano, Edwards, Kyle Busch, Gordon, and Boyer the top 10. Green flag.
Jeff Burton at 31 wasted no time finding his wingman, his teammate Kevin Harvick, in that 29 on that restart.
On the high side, Kenseth with Logano, then Kyle Busch. Everybody pretty tightly packed. Now, Tony Stewart spent a bit of time sitting there on pit road doing what, Krista?
Mike, the reason was radio issues. In fact, they got it fixed because Tony said, yep, I've got you, I've got you. They were able to communicate a little bit during that break, but they were already making plans. If they lose radio transmission again, they were planning on using signals. Tony would let him know based on where he was running on the track. He would pull out a line and let him know that he would need to come in. Right now, so far, I am listening to him, and they are able to communicate at this time.
I think, Mike, we're going to see some wild and crazy racing. What these guys right here realize, you can't let everybody get away from you. This is the wilder start than the first start was.
Well, Kyle Busch shot out of the middle and ran away from his wingman. He had to drop down to the bottom to pick one up, and nobody's gone with him. He's a lonely boy, as teammate Joey Logano is going to go around him, not with him.
And this is where you got to kind of anticipate, drag the brake a little bit. You don't want to get out of the throttle. Use a lot of brake here to slow the car down and keep the throttle on the mat.
Now, there's nothing wrong with the 18, but Kyle Busch running by himself without being paired up. He was like a drag chute, and everybody found it easier to go around rather than go with.
We have seen all during testing and all the last 2 days, the only way a Toyota really goes if it's got someone pushing it, but there comes those RCR cars battling their teammate Clint Boyer on the bottom that's being pushed by Biffle in the 16.
I asked Harvick, I said, what makes you so good here? He said, always have a fast car. He's got a fast car. He and his teammate, Burton. The mayor, trouble.
Junior's in the wall. Montoya.
Joey Logano.
Logano gets hit. Edwards in the infield. And more.
I just saw that coming, Mike. It was a much wilder start than what even the first start was. I think these guys got a little too confident, a little too comfortable.
Regan Smith, left of your screen, involved. First caution flag of the night on track. We do count the competition caution at lap 25. And there is Kevin Conway driving one of Joe Nemechek's cars. His night is done. Darrell, let's have a look.
Let's see what happens here. Of course, we were talking about the 18 was having trouble going, and now he's got Junior up behind him. And I said he had to anticipate. Looks like Bobby Labonte in the 47 car.
Ooh, Carl Regan Smith.
I believe Carl got into. He definitely got into Dale Jr. I'm not sure if Regan Smith pushed him up there or not. Take another look at it.
From Jimmy Johnson.
Outside, too wide.
Oh, yeah. Carl got into the right rear of Dale Jr., and Dale Jr. got into the 78 car of Regan Smith.
Almost looked like Carl Edwards tried to go through a hole that wasn't quite wide enough for that 99 car.
Yeah,
possibly.
he's trying to slip right in there, and he couldn't make it. And then Dale Jr. bounced off of Carl and got into Regan Smith.
A wild slide into the corner. And let's take Joey Logano's wild ride. Logano was holding his line till he got center punched by the 97, and then that big noise was Montoya.
Did a smart thing though. He let go of the steering wheel, because if you hang on to that steering wheel very long, it can break your wrist.
Krista?
Teammates at 29 and 31, both in just for a splash of fuel.
Tire change on Jimmy Johnson. Fuel for Mark Martin. Tires for Clint Boyer.
But as far as those cars getting fuel, whether you took tires or not, Steve, this should get them possibly to the end. Still going to be close, though.
It is Larry Mack. Scott Wood, the gas man. He's a veteran gas man, making sure he gets as much gas in as he can. Denny Hamlin is going to get 4 tires. They're also going to clean the grill. Crew Chief Mike Ford saying, take your time. Speed isn't of the essence right now. Let's get it right.
That will erase any chance of beating Bill Elliott's record speed for the event, 197.8 miles an hour in 1987. First on-track calamity of the night in the Budweiser Shootout. Lots more to come. You're watching NASCAR on Fox.